Thank you, President Goodnow. Right. This is my old neighborhood. I used to live on Chestnut Street for 6 years, about 6 years. And now it's right down the block from me. I live, on Stephenson. So this sounds awesome. The first question that I would have is, so, I mean, most of this is where the old medical buildings are. There are still medical facilities that are operating. I mean, there's still a few, like specialists are still kind of located there, but I think unfortunately they're migrating away, which is really unfortunate for the elder facilities that are there. So will the elder facilities stay there? Do you know if there's plans? I mean, because this all encompasses all of the elder care facilities that are in the low income elder care facility. There's a couple of low income elder residential places that I'm concerned about. Will it affect them?
No, I'd say everything will be a use that's permitted in the new zoning or even under the current zoning. When we'd had a lot of discussion in the plan development, elder care was an important part. And I don't know if some of the word clouds that Garrett had in his presentation slides, I think some of those words are in the word clouds in the presentation. I don't know if you can look and pull that up, but that was one of the feedback we got in the early plan development, is that having this place where you have all ages that come together, and we didn't want to leave the elder care facilities behind. So that was a major emphasis when we did public outreach and the development of the plan back in 2019 when we started this.
And this is Denise's district, so I don't want to steal your thunder too much, girl, but this used to be my neighborhood. And it still kind of is. And I just have big concerns for, I don't want these vulnerable populations. I don't want their rent to be raised on them because the area, I know people don't like this word, but the area becoming gentrified or economically developed or what have you. But I know that we need something down there because it's there's a lot of potential, a lot of space. And because it's my old neighborhood, I'm also looking on the satellite view on my phone. And I can see that there was a lot of intention put into how it was crafted. Keeping ash, that little section of ash separate and I'm sorry, I forgot the terminology. I should have written that part down. As not the larger multi-use, but you have a small section that's out for just, is it high density? Is it going to be changed to high density housing in that ash area, or was it low density, medium? What was the?
I can pull up the slideshow just a moment.
And I'm sorry, I have it up, but what I was really wanting to make sure it was that I kept, because I'm going to ask you about community feedback. So I wanted to make sure I had the community feedback up. So I didn't want to go to that picture and lose what my train of thought with the community feedback. But yeah, if you have that picture of the proposed change all in pink. Yeah, and maybe that's not ash. Is it? It's not ash. That is Cherry Avenue. Okay. And because there's still, there's houses there. So that would remain as center residential low. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like on Ash Street, it looks like that's outside of the sub area plan, right?
No, yeah, Cherry Avenue. I apologize. It's adjacent to Ash.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. Cherry Avenue, where there's still houses. And I think this is the space that's carved out is primarily some of those buildings, those medical buildings and so on. And so I like the intention of that, because what you've done is in this sub area is that the real residential zones are excluded, so that doesn't change to a high density. And I used to live on the top of Chestnut Street, and I did have a water view. And so looking at some of this feedback, I do understand that people are concerned about losing their water views. And I don't know the name of the curved apartment complex, but if that unit goes up to 80 feet, they don't have their water view anymore. So I totally empathize with that, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes when you purchase land and you're operating within the code and the law. I want to ask briefly about the community feedback, because I'm wondering, taking a look at it says it was well attended. How many people attended the open house on let's see, there was a planning commission workshop at specifically the East Side Village Sub-Area Plan online open house on the 28th of February. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people for that one?
No, I think that it was attended by about 20, 25 people.
Okay, just not everybody offered public comment. That's understandable. I live near there. I don't know if I'm not within 300 feet. So, but you know, when you did your outreach, how did the outreach happen? Was it sent by letter? Was it flyers? Did you door knock? How was the outreach? How did that go?
We sent out flyers to all property owners and residents within 300 feet of the sub area. And we invited them to the online open house. And the online open house was another outreach method.
Okay. So when you say residents, do you mean just like every single address, not just like, I don't know, registered voters, but like every single viable address, including, you know, some of these elder care facilities?
Right.
Okay. And were most people that attended property owners?
I think that we have gotten feedback from 9 property owners. So I would say that I don't think that they all attended either. I'm just saying, like, in total, I think 9 property owners have contacted us supporting the plan.
Okay.
Some people weren't really identified or provided their credentials, and you know, it would just be like someone's iPhone would be what they were identified as in the online open house.
And I think something that I'm always concerned about, and it's hard to get people who are, you know, lower socioeconomic status involved, and you aren't taking names and income levels when they're checking in at the, you know, I think that, you know, and plus there's a lot of military, there's a lot, I know this area pretty well. But I'm curious, did you have anybody from the elder care facilities that attended this?
Yeah, that actually leads into one of the proposals. We have a proposal for a senior housing complex from, I think, 55 to 75 units. They're still playing with the final numbers on that, but they are supportive of the sub-area plan changes because the current plan is prohibitive to that plan moving forward.
Okay, and I think I probably shouldn't say elder care facilities because they're not all elder care, they're senior living, you know, senior living communities. Thank you for that. And I guess I know that the Planning Commission has already vetted this. They unanimously approved it. I see the intention and how this section was carved out. I guess I have reservations just on I guess I have reservations because it would be nice if we were able to ensure that there could be some affordable housing reserved in here. I think that's my only reservation because my concern is that if it builds up too much, that it will push rent up, and some of these vulnerable people that are renting there in and around, because I mean, beyond Chestnut Street. Okay, so Sheridan, Chestnut Street. I know there's a lot of, it's mostly homeowners on Juniper. I mean, this is, you know, but there's a lot of apartment complexes and, you know, duplexes, you know, that are rented by low income people. And so I think my only reservation for this specific plan is that I would love to see some way to ensure that there was affordable housing for low income residents in this plan. That's all. Thank you so much. You're off the hot seat with me, Mr. Jackson, Ms. Spencer. This is I think it's a well-crafted plan with intention.